With their striking spots and characteristic tear marks, they're an icon of the African plains.
And the very definition of specialization.
Perfectly adapted to their environment and engineered for speed.
They're one of the top athletes in the animal world and the fastest animal on the planet.
They're playful, social, and capable of developing lifelong bonds, even with members of a different species.
Humans impact their territory, but we also have the opportunity to preserve them.
Let's discover cheetahs on this edition of Saving a Species. Welcome to Saving a Species. I'm Bill Street. Cheetahs are one of the most fascinating yet misunderstood animals in Africa. Today we'll learn about these amazing cats. And to help us discover the world of cheetahs, we've enlisted the help of these cheetah experts. We've also got something that may be a first. We'll see firsthand the speed of cheetahs, but not in Africa, in the middle of a pro sports arena. Chuck Carreau joins us with a quick sneak peek.
Bill, with access to a professional sports arena, we're hoping to do something that's probably never been done before. Now, here's the plan. We're going to run the cheetahs along the length of this professional football field, capturing their every move with the high-speed camera. That's going to give us the ability to see details that we wouldn't be able to see at regular speed. We're going to gain a better appreciation for the speed and power of the cheetah.
But before we observe cheetahs at full throttle, we really need to know what's under the hood. And for that, we turn to our cheetah experts, veterinarians Pete Black and Alex Cole.
Hi, I'm Pete.
And I'm Alex.
And between the two of us,
We know a little something about cheetahs. For instance, look at what's happening in this shot. What you see is a big cat chasing its prey. But what we see is one of the most highly engineered predators on the planet. Think of it this way. There's a huge difference between this
and this. Everything about a cheetah is built for speed. That's the cheetah's advantage as a predator. Without the speed, there'd be no dinner. It's all about adaptation. Going from the base model to something designed for one purpose, high-speed pursuit.
high torque engine, performance handling, aerodynamic, sleek and beautiful. Sounds like my cheetahs.
Check it out. A cheetah's chest is supersized, with room for an extra large heart and lungs, which generates power for the muscles. The legs are long and slender, with extended tendons.
And those tendons really kind of act like shock absorbers. Keep in mind that the cheetah really needs the performance handling package.
Most kinds of cats, like this vicious animal here, have retractable claws, but not the cheetah. The cheetah's claws are fixed, just like an athlete's cleats.
Traction helps with control. But to move at really fast speeds, you have to be aerodynamic. You've got to be able to cut through the wind like a knife. And that explains the cheetah's head. It's noticeably smaller than other cats. It's almost as if the head was shaped in a wind tunnel.
Shh, he doesn't like to talk about his little head. He's kind of sensitive.
Sorry, but look how beautiful that head is. Those very distinctive black stripes under the eyes, they absorb the sunlight and prevent it from getting reflected in his eyes. Combine that with those gorgeous spots for an air of camouflage. Mix all that together with his speed, you have one of the world's most fearsome predators. Now let's talk about steering. Not this kind of steering. This kind of steering. If I move this boat rudder in this direction, the boat heads off over here. But if I move it back over here in this direction, well, you get the picture. A cheetah's tail works much in the same way as a boat rudder does. All right, sit up. By swinging the tail from one side to the other, a cheetah is able to make quick maneuvers at high speeds. So, as the gazelle is zigging and zagging, the cheetah is able to stay in hot pursuit. Speaking of pursuit, you might think the subject of speed is pretty obvious. A cheetah's legs are moving faster than those of its prey, right? Well, let's put the obvious to the test. Watch as Pete runs. His legs are moving really fast, but in short strides. Now, here's the same run, but Pete's taking long strides. Look at the results. The run with the fewer, longer strides clearly produces the best speed. And that's the cheetah's real secret for conquest. Big strides. The cheetah spine is extra long, super flexible, and easily the most muscular part of their body. It's the spine that allows all 4 feet to leave the ground at once. In fact, cheetahs are actually airborne half the time they're running.
Yes, it turns out that all that power comes at a price. To run at full speed, cheetahs generate heat. A lot of heat. It's no different than if I race this engine at full throttle. Do it for too long, and things start to overheat and break down. It's the same principle for cheetahs. Air intake goes from 20 breaths per minute to 160. Meanwhile, the internal temperature climbs as high as 105 degrees Fahrenheit, dangerously close to brain damage. Which means a cheetah's good for about 400 to 600 yards, and then that's it. Stop or blow the engine. Now you know the strengths and the weaknesses of cheetah power. Now as for us, I know cheetahs might need a rest, but I'm ready for another spin. Hit it.
Now we're ready for action out at Tropicana Field. Ordinarily, this arena is home to a baseball team, but for today, the stadium has been reconfigured to a football field. And as you're about to see, our own Chuck Carreau is taking advantage of the opportunity to show you cheetah speed in a way you've never seen before.
Watching cheetahs run here at Busch Gardens, Tampa, that's pretty amazing. But just how fast is the average cheetah? What we really need is a gauge for speed that we can all relate to, like a professional football field. Now, with everything measured out in yards, this is the perfect place for us to see speed. I'm out of breath. Now, what we're about to try is unprecedented. 4 cheetahs from Busch Gardens, Tampa are going to be given the opportunity to run the length of a football field. Meanwhile, we'll capture all the action with cameras placed here, 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 and one up there. Also, take a look at this. It's an ultra-high-speed camera. If all goes well, we should capture some incredible details. But first, let's address safety. So, Tim, tell us about the protocol that goes into all this.
Well, we locked down the stadium today. I brought all of my trainers with me, and of course, the cheetahs have been trained for this behavior. All we need to do now is put them on the field and let them do what they do best.
Let's do it.
All right.
Okay, it looks like our first cheetah is ready to go, and the clock is counting down. Now, there's no guarantees. It's all up to the cheetah. He's either gonna run or he's not gonna run. But if it all goes according to plan, this might be the very first time that the world's fastest land animal is running on a field that's usually reserved for the fastest humans. Ooh, here we go. Whoa, look at that. He is just burning down the field right there. That's absolutely incredible. I can't wait to see how fast he's going. Okay, now let's take a look at it again, but this time on the big screen. Now, imagine that you're the prey. Realize that the cheetah, in theory, could keep up this speed along the length of several football fields. That's absolutely breathtaking. It's amazing to think about it. Now, remember, we also captured this in extreme slow motion, so let's take a look at that. This is the level of extreme detail we were hoping to see. Look, the speed is almost instantaneous. In the first 30 yards, he's already up to top speed. You can see his spine elongating with every stride. That's what's giving him the power. And look at that tail. Now, this is a straight run, so the tail stays pretty steady. But if this cat were chasing prey, you can bet that the tail would be shifting from one side to the other, changing balance for quick maneuvers. And watch the head. It's always pointed straight forward, always locked in on that target. As our team sets up for another run, let's talk about what would be happening if the cheetah were running at these speeds out in the wild. All right, now I'm a cheetah and I've just landed a gazelle. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm pretty wiped out right now. And remember, I've been running at incredible speeds and I'm getting dangerously overheated. I just need to relax and cool down, but hope that some other predator doesn't come along in my weakened state and try to steal my meal.
Can I get up now?
Oh, sorry, Dave. Good job being a gazelle. So, okay, I dragged my prey out into this shaded area, and I am full. Time to just kick back. After all, with a 50% catch rate, I am one of the most efficient predators on the African plains. I'm just saying, I got nothing to prove. So I'm just gonna sit back, digest, and watch the scenery. That's tomorrow's lunch. Okay, it's now time for our next cheetah run. The clock is set, the radar is ready, and he's off. Look at those yard lines going by. Now, a lot of football players dream of speeds like this. Okay, let's call up the actual time and speed. Not quite as fast as the first one, but it's still pretty doggone fast. Now, make no bones about it, these guys are running at average cheetah speed, and they can run faster if they need to. Which leads us to our next setup. What if we were to compare these average cheetahs to a human in top condition, an athlete known for speed and agility? That's exactly what we'll see when we return to the gridiron with a side-by-side comparison you won't want to miss.
Chuck, we can't wait to see the human to cheetah comparison. We've now learned about several cheetah adaptations and seen a demonstration of their incredible speed. But how do cheetahs behave when they aren't chasing prey? Let's learn a little bit more about the social lives of cheetahs from someone who works with them every day, animal care specialist Ashley Lutz-Nelson.
To understand cheetahs, you have to first know where to find cheetahs. While a small population survives in Asia, most of the world's estimated 12,000 wild cheetahs dwell in the open plains of Africa, which makes perfect sense. The tall grass of the savanna provides ideal camouflage. And when the moment is right, the cheetah leaps out of hiding and springs into action, taking full advantage of speed and maneuverability. Whoa, 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 let's stop right there. If this is the cheetah image you were expecting, a solitary cat living and hunting on its own, then you're only partially right. Unlike other certain big cats, cheetahs can be highly social. For instance, while a female cheetah prefers isolation, male cheetahs are just the opposite. They band together in small groups called coalitions. There are no hard rules who joins a coalition. Often, it's brothers from the same litter. Though some coalitions do include unrelated males. Either way, one of the male cheetahs will emerge as the dominant leader of the coalition. The coordinated approach of a coalition provides lots of advantages: greater success as hunters, greater protection from other predators, and better odds when it comes time to fight single male cheetahs for territory. Males in a coalition are also much more likely to do well in finding mates, and that's where things get a little peculiar. Remember, in normal situations, the female prefers isolation, but come mating time, everything changes. Now, there's nothing unusual about employing a few upgrades to attract attention. A little makeup, some sweet-smelling perfume, maybe a cute top, all perfectly normal, right? Well, when it comes to cheetah's means of attraction, let's just say it's a bit unusual. When the female is ready to mate, certain hormones are released in her urine. This new scent attracts males and sends a clear signal to all potential suitors. It's mating time. Mating can include frequent contact over several days, but then the males lose interest and disappear, leaving the female to raise their young. Cheetah mothers nurse, groom, and do the best they can to protect cubs from other predators. Honestly, though, the protection part has its severe limitations. Even though mom moves and hides the cubs frequently, it's still a losing battle. With lions, hyenas, baboons around looking for an easy meal, as few as 10% of wild cheetah cubs make it to adulthood. Despite all the surrounding hazards, cubs still somehow manage time for play. Rough and tumble games prepare young cheetahs with the skills they'll need to survive. They also begin learning and practicing the cheetah way of communicating. If you're expecting the roar of a lion, sorry, think more of the lines of this guy. Cheetah vocalizations include bird-like chirps and bleating noises, as well as hissing and growling, and a good amount of purring, just like this house cat. Okay, so not the most fearsome in the sound department. However, with mom's help, cubs do grow into formidable hunters. By the age of 18 months, cheetahs are ready for their own territory and their own coalitions. By 3 years of age, the female cheetah is ready for mating, and the whole cycle starts over again. Now, as social animals, it makes sense that cheetahs form relationships with other cheetahs. However, in special situations, cheetahs are capable of forming relationships outside their species. Just consider the case of Cassie and Matani. Cassie came to Busch Gardens as a rescued cub, and from the start, caregivers knew they had a challenge. With no other cheetah cubs around, who would Cassie form a sibling relationship with? The solution? Another rescued animal, but not a cheetah. Instead, the animal care team found a yellow lab puppy in need of a home. Enter Matani. After initial introductions, the two quickly became the best of friends. They play the same roughhouse games, they share the same habitat, and eat their meals together just like you'd expect to see with coalition siblings out in the wild. And even as Cassie now rapidly matures into a full-grown cheetah, the sibling bond with Matani still endures, proving that a cheetah's need for social connection transcends the instinct to stay with its own species. Just like coalitions in the wild, Cassie and Matani are expected to stay together for the rest of their lives.
Now it's time to go back to Tropicana Field, where our own Chuck Carreau is ready with a special guest and the Human Cheetah Challenge.
You're looking at a top-conditioned athlete known for making fast runs and quick maneuvers, just like a cheetah. So, how will this human athlete compare to the star athlete of the animal world? Let's find out. In each of our cheetah runs, we've had a camera up in the catwalk recording all the action. Now, it's time to use that footage. And thanks to some video magic, we'll be able to see the human and cheetah in a direct comparison of speed and time. It'll be as if both were running side by side. How you feeling today?
Yeah, pretty good.
Pretty good? I'm assuming you've never done anything like this before, race against a cheetah.
No, never even dreamed of anything like this. Kind of looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, not everyone has the opportunity to race against a cheetah, but you're gonna do it.
Yeah, definitely, you know, being a fan of big cats, it's a great opportunity to come out and you know, do something that I like to.
Now, any thoughts on how you're gonna compare?
Probably not very well, you know. They're pretty fast animals, so we'll see what happens.
They are fast, but I hear you're pretty fast, so we're gonna see.
All right, we'll see.
Well, it looks like he's ready, and he's off. Now, we knew this man was fast, but he is going fast. He is not holding back. That is cheetah speed right there. Let's see how he compared against the cheetah. Here's his top speed, 24 miles per hour. Now, by human standards, that is impressive. But now, let's take a look at the same footage and bring it head-to-head with the cheetah. And here they are, side by side. The cheetah's immediately off to a faster start, and take a look at this. The cheetah's already at the 50-yard line. The human athlete is only at the 30. So how do you feel it went?
Exactly how I thought it was gonna go. I didn't win. So, you know, like you said before, they're the fastest land animal and really didn't stand a chance.
Yeah, you gotta respect the power of the cheetah.
Absolutely.
All right, thanks, man.
No, thank you.
Looking at the slow motion, you can see similarities and dissimilarities. Both have long strides, both exhibit incredible focus, but the difference is definitely in the time. The cheetah's top speed, 44 miles per hour. Meanwhile, our athlete's best speed, 24 miles per hour. That's a 20-mile-per-hour difference, without the cheetah even knowing he's competing.
What you just saw is just the beginning. Check out behind-the-scenes views and additional high-speed cheetah run footage at shamutv.com. Our care for these animals illustrates a positive example of the human-animal connection. However, we wouldn't be telling the whole story if we didn't face a hard truth. Cheetahs are in a race against time for their own survival. As Conservation Ambassador Julie Scardina explains, although human impact has played a heavy role in pushing cheetahs to the edge of extinction, we also have the ability to ensure their survival.
You're looking at the oldest of the big cats. In fact, the earliest known cheetahs date back some 4 million years. But to understand the plight of the modern cheetah, you just have to go back, 10,000 years, to the end of the last ice age. By the time things thawed out, as few as 500 cheetahs existed, which means today's cheetahs all come from a handful of common ancestors, sharing so much DNA, it's as if they're all identical twins. This lack of genetic diversity limits their breeding success and ability to ward off disease. Despite the small gene pool, cheetahs were able to build up their numbers over the years. But then came the worst threat of all, human-caused impacts.
The cheetah is an animal that doesn't do well in protected game reserves, so 90% of the cheetahs living out in Africa are found outside of protected areas where they're in direct conflict with humans and their livestock.
No matter how you add it up, cheetahs are on the losing end of that conflict. In a relatively short amount of time, cheetah populations have suffered dramatic declines. Hunting and poaching have definitely taken their toll. However, the real impact comes simply from the number of humans now living in traditional cheetah ranges. There's less prey to hunt and less space to hunt in.
Most of the cheetahs are found in fragmented populations. 2/3 of them are very small populations, maybe 50 animals, 25 animals, throughout about 2/3 of the country.
Which is why groups like the Cheetah Conservation Fund are so important. As head of CCF, Dr. Lori Marker hopes to stabilize and restore cheetah numbers.
From our base in Namibia, where we have a research and education center, we're working to save the wild population of cheetahs from Namibia and throughout the range.
So here's the basic challenge. You've got humans that need land to grow food and raise livestock. You've got cheetahs that live on that land and sometimes have to prey on that livestock. You want to save the cheetah, but you don't want to hurt the farmer's livelihood. What do you do?
We work with the farming community to protect their livestock, grow their wildlife, and actually maintain landscapes that allow predators like the cheetah on their land.
The Cheetah Conservation Fund also provides one other key solution: dogs. Specifically, Anatolian Shepherds. CCF breeds and then places the dogs with farmers to guard their stock. And the Cheetah Conservation Fund teaches the farmers how to care for and utilize the dogs. And they also provide free medical care for the animals. To date, nearly 200 Anatolian Shepherds have been placed as livestock guardians and have had a dramatic impact by reducing the number of wild cheetahs trapped and killed in Namibia. And cheetah conservation can also happen closer to home. The White Oak Conservation Center here in the U.S. is renowned for research, rehabilitation, and conservation of a variety of animals, including cheetahs. The goal is to increase genetic diversity and bolster population numbers.
Every cub that's born, we look at within a 2-year period trying to place them into another zoological institution. The Cheetah Species Survival Plan sets up so that we can look at the genetics of all the individual animals, and then we'll have a better idea of who should be breeding with whom and who shouldn't be breeding with whom, which is very important as well.
This work to strengthen the cheetah's genetic mix, combined with a better general knowledge of cheetah numbers and movement, as well as conservation in their native ranges, should contribute greatly to this amazing cat's survival. But when it comes to saving a species, the work of conservancies like White Oak and the Cheetah Conservation Fund are only part of the story. The other part is you. There are so many ways to get involved, plus a wealth of online resources to turn to. One place to start is our own Shamu TV Saving a Species webpage. Make a visit, learn more about cheetahs, and then share the knowledge with your friends. Before you know it, you'll be plugged in with people all over the globe, all committed to making sure cheetahs stay with us for generations to come.
Now let's turn back to our experts for a quick recap of what we call Saving a Species Wild Round. Each expert has 15 seconds to give a quick overview of their top content takeaways. Remember, 15 seconds, starting now.
With today's demonstration, we should all walk away with a greater appreciation for the cheetah, a magnificent animal, knowing that when its survival's on the line, it can be even faster and more agile in the natural environment.
Everything about a cheetah is over-engineered.
That big old heart,
Flexible spine,
non-retractable claws,
black stripes under the eyes to absorb sunlight,
guy liner, yeah, I like it. Rudder-shaped tail.
really tiny head.
Don't mention the head because they don't like it.
It makes them faster though, it's aerodynamic.
Tigers don't have little heads.
Cheetahs are an amazing and unique species of cat. They're playful, they're social, they form coalitions with their brothers that last a lifetime. They even have vocalization similar to small cats, even though they're as big as a large cat.
There's no reason cheetahs can't survive. It just takes awareness, knowledge, and positive actions. After all, it worked for the American alligator, the elephant seal, and the bald eagle, to name a few. When we care, do the science, and act, we can all help save species.
Today we've learned about cheetah adaptations, their speed and social life, and hopeful plans for their conservation. But that's just the beginning of the story. To learn more about cheetahs and other incredible animals, visit shamutv.com. Each week we'll post activities, games, and behind-the-scenes videos to help inspire you to make a difference in the lives of cheetahs. We'll also encourage you to become a fan of the SeaWorld and Busch Gardens Conservation Fund Facebook page. Until next time, I'm Bill Street saying thanks for watching and for your part in saving a species.